The fifth episode of Marshals, Lost Girls, is going to be one of the most sentimental and powerful episodes of the season. What if Kayce Dutton's next mission isn't just another case, but a situation that goes deeper than anything he's ever had to deal with? It could change everything for Kayce. The story gets darker and more realistic next week on CBS. It's not just regarding action or another person who is on the run. This is about something real, something that hurts, and something that feels more personal than anything else we've seen so far. Kayce is going into a situation that goes far beyond his badge and duty, and it's the kind of disaster that stays with you. Kayce goes rogue in episode 5 in an attempt to find a missing girl from Broken Rock. You can tell this isn't just another mission right away. The abduction of young women from reservations is a major and frequently disregarded subject that is touched upon in this plot. These are people who are all too frequently forgotten, stories that don't always receive attention, and situations that aren't always resolved. However, Kayce won't overlook this one. You have to look at Kayce's current mental state to see why this is so important. The loss of Monica continues to weigh heavily on him. That suffering is still present. If anything, he's been trying to hide it through his work, immersing himself in missions to avoid facing his losses. But he can't hide in this scenario because completing his work is no longer the only thing. It involves confronting the same sense of grief, anxiety, and helplessness that has plagued him since Monica's passing. This missing girl becomes more than simply a name on a report. She serves as a reminder of all Kayce was unable to keep safe. And that's precisely the reason he turns rogue. This is no longer about adhering to protocol. This has to do with control. It's about not allowing another life to pass you by. Kayce's perspective shifts from that of a marshal to that of a father, a guy who has already suffered too much and is determined not to suffer anymore. However, there are repercussions to that choice. Remember, Kayce is already under pressure. The unit's trust is shaky after everything that transpired in episode 4. He is being observed, interrogated, and perhaps even looked into. So breaking the law now, his profession, his ties with his team, and whatever future he's attempting to create could all be in jeopardy. Nevertheless, he continues to do it, because Kayce secretly understands that sometimes obeying the rules is insufficient, something the system doesn't always acknowledge. Justice may not always be served unless someone is prepared to go too far. This is the reason this episode is so potent. Kayce's objective is only one aspect of a larger problem. It's about the untold tales, those who are denied justice, and the unsettling reality that not every institution is designed to provide equal protection for all. Kayce continues to deal with Monica in the midst of all of that. Everywhere you look, you see her absence. In his choices, in his rage, is the way he unhesitatingly puts himself in danger. This endeavor is about trying to fix something inside himself, not just about saving someone else. It's about demonstrating, possibly even to himself, that he can still save someone and that it's not too late. The true question, though, is can he? We will witness Kayce being pushed farther than ever in episode 5. Physically, psychologically, and emotionally. Even if he succeeds, there's a good possibility it won't be without a price. The protagonist Kayce faces an emotional and moral dilemma as he attempts to save a missing girl without losing his own sense of self. The narrative highlights a turning point in the series, emphasizing the inner struggle Kayce experiences as he grapples with the dual burdens of his duty and personal anguish. This episode marks a significant shift, serving not only as a critical juncture in Kayce's character development, but also symbolically representing the transition to a new era in the series following the departure of Kevin Costner's character, John Dutton III. Throughout its 5 seasons, Taylor Sheridan's neo-Western series has positioned Costner at the heart of the Dutton family saga, intertwining his character deeply with the overarching plot. His absence thus carries substantial impact, signaling a pivotal moment in the narrative's evolution and leaving a lasting impression on viewers. Numerous reports suggest that Kevin Costner departed from Yellowstone due to scheduling conflicts, wishing to prioritize other projects. As a result, series creator Taylor Sheridan opted to conclude Yellowstone with the death of John III, even in Costner's absence. His character's legacy and murder significantly impacted the series finale. Sheridan has now officially assumed the role that Costner's character vacated. The character Kayce Dutton continues the family legacy in the spin-off Marshals, which brings notable narrative changes. Following the death of Monica, Luke Grimes' character transitions to a career with the U.S. Marshals. Marshals marks Sheridan's first venture into regular television, presenting a police procedural that retains the neo-Western aesthetic established in Yellowstone. The main narratives still feature familiar themes and characters, with Thomas Rainwater, chief of the Broken Rock Indian Reservation, stepping in for John III. In the series Marshals, the ongoing issues surrounding the property persist even after the passing of the Dutton grandfather and the return of the ranch to the reservation. With the death of John III, it falls upon Rainwater to safeguard the Montana landscape for future generations, a responsibility he does not take lightly. Historically, Rainwater and John III had a shared vision for managing the ranch despite their differences, as evidenced by discussions during the recent saleback of the property following the Yellowstone finale. This theme of stewardship and alliance is likely to continue throughout the series, especially with Kayce's forthcoming role as a law enforcement officer within the U.S. Marshals. In the pilot, Rainwater and Moe's positive reception of Kayce's new path highlights their recognition of him as a future protector and a critical ally. Furthermore, alongside his commitment to John III's legacy of preserving the home, Rainwater also steps into a paternal role for Kayce, particularly in the wake of Monica's death, adding emotional depth to the narrative and character dynamics. His relationship with the Broken Rock Chief has always been positive, but Yellowstone was unable to fully explore it due to his connections to John III, who loomed large during the Paramount Network series run. As they begin to depend on one another, Kayce and Rainwater's dynamic now has the potential to be improved. It would be an understatement to say that Kayce's relationship with John III was difficult. The program began with him and his father in conflict, yet he ultimately softened toward his father. Marshals can offer a parallel relationship for him, as it develops his ties to Rainwater. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives like this. See you in the next review.